Okay, so imagine what recruiting 20 people in 30 days will do for your business. Imagine how much extra money you're going to earn, how many additional lives you're going to help, how many are you probably going to rank advance? Is it going to change the trajectory of your career? Are you going to provide a better example to your teams? It's amazing. Now, in this 6 weeks, half an hour each week, I'm going to give you very specific assignments. Very specific assignments. What's the color black? Oh, I got it. Very specific assignments on how you can recruit 20 people in 30 days. The mistake most people make, and you're not going to make it, is they just decide to start recruiting 20 people in 30 days and they start the next day. These next 2 weeks are critically important to prepare properly, to prepare this week and to pre-launch next week, okay? Prepare this week, pre-launch next week. So I want to give you, what am I going to give you? I'm going to give you 10 steps to preparing, 10 steps to preparing for your 20 in 30 campaign, okay? Step 1, and if you do me a favor, post these steps into the comments for everybody else watching live or replay. And for your friends, do them a favor. I'm closing access to GoPro Academy February 1st at midnight, February 1st. So, well, midnight, January 31st, actually. So as of February 1st, no other people are going to be able to join. I'm closing access to GoPro Academy. Everybody can join for $1. Just tell them how to do it like you did. So step 1 in your 10 steps to preparing your 20 and 30 campaign is a commitment. Decide. You've got to make a commitment to give this 100%. Not give it a try, not see what you're going to do. This is a commitment to show the world the best that you've got. This is a commitment to face your fear for these 30 days. This is a commitment to ignore the emotional turmoil inside of your body for these 30 days. This is a commitment that no matter what, you're going to follow through. You're going to do what's necessary. Now, I'm going to talk about what's necessary moving forward specifically, but most of recruiting 20 people in 30 days is making a decision and making a commitment. And if possible, with step number 1, make the commitment public. Tell your upline, tell your family, tell your downline, tell your company owner. Put yourself into some accountability on this commitment, okay? So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is sacrifice. Sacrifice. Every entrepreneur goes through a season of sacrifice. This is 30 days of pain for a full year of gain. 30 days of pain for a lifetime of change. 30 days. Be willing to sacrifice. Decide what you're going to be willing to put aside during these 30 days. What are you willing to sacrifice in order to make this work? Are you willing to be uncomfortable for the next 30 days? Are you willing to put aside your hobbies for the next 30 days? Are you willing to stop watching television or Netflix for the next 30 days? Are you willing to not watch sports for the next 30 days? Are you willing to not go out to eat unless you're meeting with prospects for the next 30 days? Are you willing to not go to the movies unless you're going, that doesn't even make sense. So sacrifice. Decide what you're willing to sacrifice in order to change your life. You know what gets in the way of most people's success is their to-do list. They were going to bring in 20 people in 30 days, but then they had to shovel the driveway and they had to go, shopping and they decided, well, I deserve a little time. I'm going to go do this. And you got to figure out what are you willing to give up in order to be able to give what you want. 30 days. During this 30 days, okay? During this 30 days, you got to decide what you're going to be willing to give up in order to achieve what you want. Okay? Now, I want you to write these 10 steps down in your own journal. One is, are you committed to this? What's your level of commitment? Who can you tell that you're going to do this? Put yourself accountable. And then sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? Not forever, but for 30 days. Give up something that you love, maybe, for 30 days. Give up something that brings you joy and distraction and satisfaction for 30 days in order to change your life. This is a season of growth. Guess what farmers do in the spring? They plant. They don't go on vacation. They plant. That's what this is about. Planting and harvesting, all in a 30-day period of time. So number 2 is sacrifice. Number three is negotiate with your family, with your business, with your friends, and ask them to push you in the direction of your dream. Ask others to sacrifice. For 30 days, ask your spouse, hey, can you pick up the slack with the kids for 30 days? Ask the kids, hey, can you pick up the slack for mom or for dad for the next 30 days? Ask them, ask your friends, if you see me getting distracted, kick me in the ass during these 30 days, because I need to be completely and totally focused during these 30 days, okay? Ask your spouse, ask your friends, ask your children to help you so you're 100% free to focus on this burst of activity, a condensed burst of activity to get you the biggest possible results. At work, now if you work for somebody else, this is not a 30-day period of time to give them more than what they're paying you. During this 30-day period of time, you give them what is required and you get out of there and you go to work. You don't spend any time thinking about the job. You don't spend any time worrying about the job. During coffee breaks, during lunch, that's back to building time. On your way to work, on your way home from work, that's all building time. So that's if you work for somebody else. Now, if you work for yourself, negotiate with your employees. Let's say you have a business right now. You need to ask somebody else, pick up the slack for you. Ask somebody else to take care of other projects that you normally take care of. Ask somebody else to have your back for these 30 days. To pretend like you don't exist for the next 30 days and they got to keep the business going, okay? So if you own the business, do that. Who do you need to ask so your decks are going to be totally clear and you can be totally focused? Who do you need to negotiate with in order to be able to turn this into a total focused 30-day game plan? Okay? Write it down and make it happen. This is the week when I want you to negotiate. I want you to make the commitment. I want you to determine what your sacrifice is going to be. This is going to take some thought. And I want you to negotiate with your family. Some of the biggest mistakes I made in network marketing was launching campaigns like this without negotiating with my family, and it created big bitterness with my spouse. It created bitterness with my kids. But if I let them know ahead of time, I didn't get bitterness. I got support because they knew it was only going to be for 30 days. It wasn't going to be for forever. So do the same thing. Negotiate with them. Even if you haven't gotten big results in the past and they're already annoyed that you spend so much time doing your business, let them know, give me these 30 days. Let me see what I can create to turn the income up so my sacrifice isn't so painful. Give me these 30 days. Let me run. Sometimes you might not have support at home. If you don't have support at home, it's most of the time because they're tired of watching you crawl. This is a game plan to get you out of crawling mode and into growth mode. Okay? So that's step number 3. Step number 4. Once you ask the people to sacrifice, step number 4 is, hold on, I gotta find it. There it is. Determine the time that you're willing to spend. Determine the time that you're willing to spend. What are your hours going to be during this 30-day period of time? If you're working a job, you need to work 8 hours in the job and another 8 hours growing this business. This is called hardcore, big time, no sleep, total focus, only engaged in activity that is growing your business and helping you bring in 20 people in 30 days. Determine the time that you're going to spend. Set the hours that you're going to spend. I suggest 6 to 8 hours a day on your network marketing business. If you're part-time, 6 days a week. If you're part-time, 6 to 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. I think you need 1 day a week to recharge, reconnect with your family, connect with your religious beliefs, whatever it is that you want. 1 day a week. I think that's the best. If you're full-time, I would expect you to go 10 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. No joke and for real. Recruiting these 20 people in 30 days is going to totally change your life. It's worth this sacrifice. And for me, I'm a project-oriented person, so I don't mind sacrificing for 30 days if I can get a big result over time. I don't mind. But tell me I have to do it every day for forever? I'm not interested. Because I could show you how to do this in a 30-day period of time and change everything. And then after this, you can relax a little bit, support your team, help them get to the next core rank, help them do what you need to do. Full-time job, 10 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. Part-time job, sorry, if you're full-time in network marketing, 10 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. If you're part-time in network marketing, you have a job outside, it's 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. If you're a single parent, this is a month where you need to get help. If you're a single parent, this is a month where somebody from the family needs to fly in, if they can fly in to be able to help with the kids. If you need to hire some help or get a friend to be able to come help you, whatever you need to do in order to be able to do it. Determine the time you're willing to spend. That's number 4, okay? Number 5, clear the decks of all distractions. Clear the decks of all distractions. All possible distractions need to be eliminated during this 30-day period of time. Now, guess what is likely to be the biggest distraction for you recruiting 20 people in 30 days? And when I say recruiting 20 people in 30 days, I mean you recruiting 20 new people personally into your business, not helping your team bring in 20 new people. Guess what is going to be the biggest distraction if you have an existing team? The biggest distraction to you recruiting 20 people in 30 days is your existing team. Any of you have kids, what happens when you have kids is this. You pick up the phone, they go crazy. They make noise, they get naughty, they spill things, they get in fights. As soon as you hang up the phone, they're perfectly quiet and they're perfectly good. You pick up the phone again, they go crazy. Now, your group has been doing whatever that it is that they've been doing. Here's what I got to tell you. As soon as you decide to recruit 20 people in 30 days, your team is going to go crazy. Your team is going to say, I need you, I need you, I need you, mommy, daddy, I need you. Come do a call for me. Come do a home meeting for me. Do a Zoom call for me. Oh, I have this great prospect. Please come talk to my team. Please, please, please. I need you. I need you. I need you. And if you can't resist the temptation and you go over to your team, they're going to go, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. They canceled. And now you're off track. And you come back and you start on your 20 and 30 again, and then your team's like, oh, I need you, I need you, I need you. If they're not complaining to your upline and the company that you're ignoring them, you're probably not doing the job that you need to do. Tell the team, okay? In step number 5, tell your team that pretend I am on a deserted island with no internet for the next 30 days. I'll be back. I love you. Give them a bunch of assignments. Give them a bunch of assignments that they can do during the 30 days. Don't try to drag all these people with you to recruit 20 people in 30 days because they're not going to do it. This is a solo deal. Go bring in 20 people in 30 days. If they want to go, let them go, but they need to do that on their own too. Okay? Give them assignments during this month for them to keep busy, and let them know you're not going to have much time for them, if at all, until your 30 days is up. Okay? That's step number 5. If there's any other distractions, what can you get rid of? Think about what you can get rid of. Step number 6 is tools. Make sure that you have the necessary tools to fulfill this 30-day run. Do you need to have extra product samples so you can share it with people when you're doing presentations? Do you need to have extra brochures? Do you need to have extra? What do you need to have extra? What do you need to have on hand? Whatever it is inside of your business, make sure that you have lots and lots of quantity now before you start. Lots of quantity now before you start, okay? Next, step number 7. Pick a start date and write it in stone. What is the day that you're going to start? Now, I'm recommending that you don't start your 20 and 30 for 2 weeks from today. You can start anytime after that, but it's really, really important that you get this preparation and negotiation and all of these goals and family conversations and everything done this week. Get your tools in shape, get all these different things in shape. And then next week, I'm going to teach you how to pre-launch. The Whisper campaign is so powerful. You'll recruit, you should be able to recruit half of your 20 and 30 before you start your 20 and 30 in the Whisper campaign that I'm going to cover next Wednesday. Okay? The pre-launch campaign that I'm going to present to you next Wednesday. Okay? So just don't charge out there all overexcited. We're going to get there, but pick the date that you're going to go. Okay? The date that it's going to start. The date when the distractions are gone. The date when the commitment is in place, the sacrifice is in place. The date when the negotiations have all kicked in. The date when you have jumped off the cliff and you're going to grow wings on your way down. Okay? Step number 7 is to pick a start date. Pick a start date. And anytime 2 weeks from today forward is a good start date. And if you want to do it 2 weeks from today, that's up to you. But I'm going to be walking through step by step how to do it week by week once that thing starts. That start date, okay? Pick the start date. Number 8. This is really important in your preparation phase. This is something you can start to do. And next week during your pre-launch, you're going to do it some more. Number 8 is to warm up your list. Some of you are introverted people like I am. Some of you are nervous and, I'm introverted, but you know what works for me? If I have a project, I can kind of psych myself up and go. But I don't naturally, I'm kind of a homebody and outside of business travel and things like that. So I need to push myself to connect with people. So step number 8 is to warm up your prospect list. Step number 8 is to warm up your prospect list without any pitch attached. This week, what I want you to do is just start a conversation with as many people as possible. Online, over the phone, face-to-face, and just how are you doing? What's going on? I wanted to call and get caught up in your life. A couple weeks from now, you'll call them again, but the list will be warmed up. So you'll have this ability to communicate with all of them and just spread goodwill. How's your life? How was the holidays? What's your plans for this year? And don't talk about your product. Don't talk about your opportunity. You're going to be just warm the list up by having conversations with people without any opportunity attached. Just have the conversation with them. Just talk, just talk, just talk. How are the kids? What's going on? How's your health? I see you're doing this with that. I see you're doing that with this. I see you're, who's your pick for the Super Bowl? Whatever. Just have conversations and get caught up. Because 2 weeks or whenever you start your campaign, you're going to be able to call them back and say, hey, I've been thinking about you since we talked, and I don't know if this is a fit for you, but... And now it's not just right out of the cold. You've already warmed up your list. Really critical that you warm up your list. Yes, focus on warming up for this week. Next week, you're going to be warming up on some, and next week, you're going to also be doing some whisper campaigns. And I'll explain what that means next week, okay? So this week, hardcore. I want you to start today. Hey, what's going on? What's happening? And if they ask what's this about, I just wanted to get caught up. I saw your face. I just wanted to say hi. What's happening? What's going on? What's your pick for the Super Bowl? What's happening with your family? How was the holidays? Are you freezing your butt off where you are? Whatever it is, just have a conversation with no agenda attached. And even if they ask, don't talk about it. They say, how's your business? Yeah, it's fine, but I didn't call to talk about that. Don't get into it, okay? So that's step number 8. Step number 9 is to imagine that this has already been done. Step number 9 is I want you to imagine this already done. You've finished your 30-day period of time. You've recruited 20 or more people. How do you feel? How does your family look at you? How does your existing team, how much are they admiring you for the fact, has your company noticed you because you've done this in this period of time? How much have you earned? Did you rank advance? All of these really good things. I want you to imagine it already done. Here's what I promise you. The pain of doing it is worth the sacrifice for the result. 1, for yourself, but 2, for the people you're going to touch. Because you're willing to step outside of your comfort zone, then their life is going to be better. The most selfish thing in the world is not to share what you have with somebody else because it makes you uncomfortable. Or because you have enough money already, or because your roof over your head is good, or because, you don't have a lot of debt. That's selfish. The rest of the world does not feel the same way you do, okay? So let me kind of recap these things. Where are they? Hold on. My notes here somewhere. Where'd they go? Oh, here it is. All right. And number 10, I'll give you number 10 and then I'm going to recap everything, okay? And give you some assignments for this week. I'm so excited to work with you in this program. Those of you who joined this, we're going to kick out so many people, and I'm going to do some contests for those of you who actually do the 20 people in 30 days and you send us your results. We're going to have some contests, some competitions, some prizes. We're going to do also all sorts of cool things. All right, so number 1 is commitment. Or excuse me, I'll give you 10 first of all. 10 is just decide that you're worthy. Decide that you're deserving. Decide that you're capable. Decide that you're going to step outside of your comfort zone to help other people. Decide. Okay? That's the biggest word in network marketing, in my opinion. Just decide that you're going to do it. So, let me give you the 10 and then we'll wrap up. Number 1, make a commitment. Make a commitment. Being nervous is fine. Just do it anyway, Corey. number one is make a commitment. Number two, decide that you're going to sacrifice. Number two is sacrifice. Nothing great happens without sacrifice. Not forever, but for 30 days. 30 days, it's going to be amazing. Decide what you're going to sacrifice. Write it down. Number three, ask others to sacrifice. Negotiate with the important people in your life and ask them to help you. Ask them to pitch in. Ask them to fill in the blanks. Ask them to push you when you're slowing down. Ask them for permission to run without guilt for 30 days. Step number four, determine the time that you're willing to spend to make this happen. Once your 30 days starts, it's okay, Tina. It's okay to be nervous. It's going to be great, and you got a community that's going to help you. Determine the time you're willing to spend. Step number four. Step number five, clear the decks of all distractions. All distractions are equal. Clear the decks of every single distraction you have in your life. Step number six, put together the tools necessary so you're ready to make this happen. Put together the tools so you don't have to waste time finding the tools or the products or the samples or anything else. Load up, stock up, be ready. You're going to have a lot of conversations with people. If samples, for example, if samples help you grow your business, get a buttload of samples because you're going to be talking to a buttload of people in those 30 days. We're going to walk through that. Number seven, pick a start date. Pick it. It's going to be scary. It's going to be fine, but pick it and set it in stone. Though as soon as you pick it, the whole world's going to try and get you to change that start date. Everybody in the world is going to say, no, that's not a good date. Do it another time. That's not a good date. Pick it and set it in stone. You got to negotiate with your family first, but once you pick it, set it in stone. Don't allow yourself to procrastinate and kick this date forward. That's step number seven. Step number eight is to warm up your list. This week, this next 7 days, call everyone that you possibly can that's not involved with your company or your product and just say hello. Just warm up the list, okay? Just have a conversation. It needs to not be about business. Just warm up the conversation. You'll see the results that you'll get in a couple weeks when we kick this into gear. It'll already be warm and you'll be talking to an old friend. It won't just be a super agenda connection. Step number 9 is to imagine that you've already done this. Imagine it completed. And how are you going to look? How are you going to feel? How proud are you going to be of yourself? Imagine this, already done. And step number 10 is decide that you're worth it. Decide that you're worthy. Decide that you're capable. Decide that you're tired of crawling in network marketing. Decide that if other people can do it, so can you. Decide that if another person can recruit 20 people in 30 days, then so can you. And if an introvert can do it, then so can you. And if another single mom can do it, then so can you. And if a busy business owner can do it, then so can you. And if a person frazzled working 3 jobs can do it, then so can you. If a person who had 18 jobs before he was 22 years old, a 2.3 GPA in high school, no college education, could get involved and do it himself like I did 30 years ago, so can you. We're going to have an adventure together. This next 6 weeks, we're going to have an adventure together. Conversations can be Facebook, can be messengers, can be text, can be phone calls, whatever it is. I'll go back through and I'll answer some of these questions. If you have questions here, I'll answer this. But I want you to start. I want you to make the decision. I want you to decide what you're going to sacrifice. I want you to negotiate with your family. I want you to get their support. I want you to figure out the tools. I want you to start warming up your list. And then next Wednesday, I'm going to teach you the secret weapon that changed everything for me. The pre-launch. The pre-launch. The whisper campaign. It's magical. It's going to feel like cheating. It's going to feel like the easiest thing you ever did in your life. The Whisper campaign that I'm going to roll out to you next Wednesday with the entire pre-launch, okay? So if you're in, say I'm all in the comments below, whether you're live or replay. Let's go. Let's kick some ass. And also remind your friends they've got until tomorrow night to be part of GoPro Academy. And then we're closing enrollments of any sort so they can join all of this and get all this coaching that we just experienced. Watch this replay for $1. It's nothing. It's a piece of cake. I want to see how many people we can get to do 20 and 30 over the course of the next 6 weeks. It's going to be fun. So hope you got value here. Hope you got some notes. Watch this maybe a couple times to be able to totally internalize it. And put your comments below. If you're all in, put it into the comments. And if you have questions, also put it in the comments, and we'll be answering them over the course of the week in order to be able to help you kind of fine tune and totally understand what it is that we're doing. But you got a lot of assignments, okay? Gave you 10 points, got 10 things. Go make it happen. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.